Alrighty. Well, welcome to our next podcast, guys. Today we're going to be talking about the secret to success in your weight loss and your muscle gain. Many want to know that secret. They want that magic pill to losing weight and keeping it off and gaining muscle. And the answer is not that. It's not in the programming that you choose. It's not in how hard you push when you come. It's not how long each session is. The answer to this is consistency. So in CrossFit, they really stress nutrition and making it into the gym like four to 5 times a week. And so today our podcast is on that. It's on consistency. And the reason is simple. Consistency leads to momentum. And the more consistently you do something, the easier it gets. And the more momentum you build up, which eventually that becomes a habit, and habits are very hard to break. So that's essentially what we want to get to. There are so many people in this gym that we could have brought in to talk about consistency. We have a lot of members that are very consistent, and it shows. But today we have Jesse and Josh, and I brought them in because Jesse's been here for a while. Josh is somewhat new still, but Jesse just hit his 750 in just shy of 3 years, which for those of you that know anything about attendance and have been coming for a while is a very impressive feat. And Josh, although he just started a couple Bring a Friends week ago, he has only missed 1 day since he's been here. And how long has you been here?
I started February 6th.
Okay. So it's been for
6 days a week since.
Yep, 6 days a week. During the
very much so.
Attendance challenge, he actually was here 29 times. He was the highest, which is very impressive. So really quick, guys, as we dive into this, Jesse, how about you go first? If you could just briefly tell us about your journey, when you started, and how it's been going so far.
So it started out in July of 2020. It was kind of a birthday present to kind of show up here. My wife Amy got me into it after about a year and a half of asking me, and finally decided I needed, at that point I feel like I was just turning 45 and I needed something. I needed to do something. I was feeling lethargic, low energy. I really felt like I was losing muscle. I really did. And I just wanted something different at the time. And after the first day, I just remember how I felt, and I was like, "This is awesome!" Like it felt great, and it's kind of been downhill ever since. I mean, that's really the long and short of it for the most part.
Yeah, I do remember when you started, and you couldn't do anything overhead. There's a lot of things, right? But it's but yet and still, even in all the time that he's been here and he's been consistent, now you can do the bar, right? Or you can do, and you can see they're not big jumps. And I think people, they start CrossFit thinking they can go from A to Z very quickly, and it takes time and it takes consistency. It takes coming in day after day after day. All right, Josh, what about you?
So Jesse's been trying to get me to come here for the last several years.
You guys are cousins.
We are cousins,
Okay.
So most everybody already knows that. But anyways, yeah, he tried, and then finally I gave in. I gave in because I know I needed to do something different with my life. I was extremely shape, overweight, just not feeling it. So I gave it a chance and came here on the Friends Week. February 6th was my first day. Mm-hmm. So I'm here. I'm trying. I'm doing.
That's great. And that's all we can ask for, that you show up and you do your best. Or let's say you're not having a great day, but you show up anyway and you do what you got.
Right.
Yeah. Very cool. So there's some actions that you can set to be more consistent. Number one is to set realistic goals. So Jesse, as you started, did you have any goals, and what were they?
Honestly, and just in my talks with Ryan, it was just to gain muscle in the beginning. I mean, not really knowing much about gym life or what goes on. I was just looking, gym, you go to the gym, you put on muscle. And really that's what I wanted. But as things kind of progressed, it was like, oh, there's fitness, there's stamina, there's
All this other stuff.
everything else. So it was very like minimalistic in the beginning, but then it just kind of opened up to all this other stuff, you know. So literally, that's really what it was.
And in your in-body scans, have you seen your skeletal muscle mass go up?
Yes. Yeah. I just my last one. I mean, it was at the time when I did it, I thought, oh, it's been 6 months. No, it's been almost a year. And in that year, it was like 4.5 pounds of muscle, and maintained my body fat percentage at 13.5.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm good with that, you know, and that's what I wanted. So.
All right. Very cool. Josh, what about you?
So for me, the first step was getting here, and then once I was here, committing myself. So I've committed. When I first spoke with Ryan, I told him what I wanted to do and wanted to achieve, and so I did it. I'm all in when I'm in something.
So your goal is to just be here.
To be here was the first goal. Yeah. So there's a few steps to my goals that I had set forward, and my mindset coming in was to show up, be here, and I have Jesse here. That was very encouraging to make me show up.
And I know, like Jesse, I feel like you guys went to Disneyland shortly after he started, and I think you called him every day, like, hey, are you going? Are you going? You need to go. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, no, that's awesome. Well, that leads right into our next question, is finding that accountability partner helps you stay consistent. So, Jesse, did you have someone? Do you have someone?
I mean, early on, I mean, for me, it was Amy, just bouncing back, kind of getting feedback from her, and it's like, just keep going, and that was kind of early on. It was just kind of like, okay, yeah, because I saw what it was doing for her, and then as time progressed, when I was like, okay, no, I really like this, and there was times where everybody hits a lull, everybody hits this, but then when we're in class, and then I hear somebody say, oh, Ryan will ask, hey, why weren't you here the other day? Oh, I had this. Well, you could have gone to this class.
Yeah.
That rings, like I hear that voice in my head.
He's definitely a good
I hear that voice.
partner.
Yes, I hear that voice in my head, and I go, okay, I need to go. Even on the days that I don't want to go.
Yeah.
So that right there is, I would say, the long and short of it for the most part.
Funny story, about Ryan and being accountability partner. I think last week Tim came on Monday, but didn't come again until Friday, and Ryan was like, oh, it's been a while. I haven't seen you since Monday. And Tim was like, no, I didn't come on Monday. And Ryan was just like, you did. So Tim had to come home, and I'm like, yeah, you did go. He knows.
Right.
And then what about you, Josh?
As for
accountability partner.
So Jesse's my accountability partner. 100%.
Yeah. Which is nice because you guys live next to each other too, right?
Yeah.
So you knock on the door, hey.
We're like 5 houses down from each other, so just the calls and the text, and him checking up on me, making sure. In the beginning, he was sending me the workouts, so by the YouTube video or whatever. So I would study those before I'd come here because I didn't know what anything meant.
It's okay, I still don't know what was going on.
So I was trying to get acclimated with everything and trying to figure things out for me, and he's my guy.
At what point do you think either of you recognize, okay, I don't really need any more accountability help because that's just part of my routine now? I think, Josh, you've passed that point now. Like, if Jesse was to fall off the planet tomorrow, you'd be like, well, I'm still going to the gym.
Yeah.
Right? And so at what point do you think you're like, oh, just kind of flip that switch?
How many months, maybe?
Probably 2-3 weeks in when he went to Disneyland. I was committed at that point.
Okay.
So, I knew I made it through the first 2 weeks, so I'm going for it,
Yeah, I usually find about 4 to 8 week mark is kind of everyone's little sweet spot if they're gonna stick to it. But then there's drop off around 9 months.
Right.
Don't ask me why. It's just like pregnancy. And for whatever reason, like I'm
done.
Yeah. So, Jesse, how about you?
It's about that. I mean, for me, I was, I don't know, they were just short increments. Like in my head, I would be like, okay, I've been it for a month. Okay, where am I going to be at in 2 months? So then I would kind of go, okay, at 2 months, and then, okay, at 3 months, how am I going to feel? And then at that point, you start noticing, for me, like I noticed, like I was losing a little bit of weight, I was starting to feel a little better. My recovery was starting to get better. And I was like, okay, let me just keep going. And then 6 months, and then a year, and then pretty soon it's just kind of like, this is just what I do now.
It's a habit.
Yeah.
All right, so you're at 6 months. So Ryan said the 9-month mark. Jesse, in 3 months,
Yeah.
mark your calendar. You need to be texting him, making
yeah.
sure he pushes through that 9-month mark. Yeah.
I'm at 4 months now, so.
Okay, yeah, 4 months.
We're working towards it.
Okay, well, I
Yeah.
don't think we'll have a problem with you. I think
No.
once you start feeling the benefits of being here, I know you were just talking to Jesse about getting a blood work done again, and just watching those numbers go down. It's hard to not come at that point, right?
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, Josh is someone who is currently a type 2 diabetic, correct? According to your doctor?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we'll see what the new blood work says in a
Yeah.
couple weeks or whatever it happens to be.
Yeah.
So.
You have to let us know
Mhm.
when that flips. So, all right. Also, with staying consistent is starting small, which I think for you is just your mindset of like, nope, you're just going to come. Was it the same for you, Jesse? Where you're just okay, I'm just going to get there?
Yeah, I mean, for me, when I started, I was on like this start new things kick, and this was one of them. And just, hey, let me just start something new. And yeah, and at that point, it was, hey, I'm here, I'm doing it. And it helps when your spouse is doing it. And then now, Violet, two daughters are doing, so you're kind of like, there's really, you can't escape it. It's just like, and then pretty soon you're just like, and then like with Josh, you're just kind of running by yourself. Hey, I'm going. You going today? Okay, no, I'm going. I'm there.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. And then, setting a schedule and creating a routine is very important to be consistent. You guys are fairly consistent with the 4:15 class. Did you have to rearrange a schedule at all, or was that just something that fit into your...
For me, it just fit in. It works for me. It's not a dedicated time frame that I can do. I can do any time usually.
Yeah, okay.
But it just worked.
All right, yeah, very cool. And then, setting a deadline for something, let's say you had a goal. Was there something in particular you wanted to hit in a certain time frame? What was it? Did you achieve it?
So there were several things for me. The first thing was to make it through the first week, which I had.
And how was that?
It was fine.
It was
good.
fine?
I was
Okay.
very sore. I could barely stand up and walk, but
Yeah.
it was all good. Then the second goal was, once I got through that, was to actually join after the Friends Week. So I made it and joined the gym with you guys. So the third thing for me was, I looked at the calendar. I knew that I wanted to be consistent for however long. 15 weeks in a row at 6 days a week was my first goal there.
Okay.
So on that,
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
And then the weight loss portion of it, I came in significantly obese. I weighed 291 pounds when I showed up at your door, and my goal was to lose 30 pounds by June 1st, and I am way over that. So
You've hit that mark. Yeah.
Today's June 1st.
Yeah.
June 1st.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind me asking, how much have you lost?
40.
Nice. Wow, that's incredible.
It's awesome.
What about you, Jesse? Did you have anything?
Yeah, I mean, the obviously the internal goals, the 250, 250 classes, 500 classes, and the 750. But early on, it was just trying to move better in some of the movements that I was not able to do. A big one for me was the handstands. I mean, it was a struggle. Early on, I hurt my toe doing it, and after that, it kind of put this mind block in my head that, I can't kick up, And then finally one day, with the help of Gil, I was able to do a handstand, and when I finally felt it, I was like, okay, cool. And I remember it was the best feeling in the world. I was like, oh God, I did a handstand. And then it progressively started, okay, now here's a handstand push-up, and I'm able to do that now. So, and it's slow, but I feel like I wouldn't have it any other way.
Slow as roll, too.
Yes.
It's only been 3 years.
Sure, okay. Right. So but yeah, it's just those little things that, obviously there's things that some people can just do naturally, and there's other things that people kind of have to work at. And those are the ones that I tried to, hit the most, is not try to skip those days. Oh, we're doing an overhead squat. I don't want to do that because I'm not good at it. No, I'm going to show up because I need to, and that's what I need to get better at.
No cherry picking.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, that's very important.
Just don't look at the workouts.
Yeah.
It's easier that way.
Show
And literally I'm at the point where now it's like maybe I looked the day before I'd be like, oh, what's going on? But now it's like, what are we doing? Okay, we're doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, unless we're doing rope climbs,
Sure.
Right.
That's about it.
That's about it. Yeah.
That's the only time where long socks.
hmm
Speaking of which, we'll have work times, not next week, but the following week.
Sweet.
Work on workout coming up.
2 weeks, guys. You heard that.
Yeah.
All right. So for some people, it helps to stay consistent if you have a role model. Do either one of you guys have a role model?
I do.
What was that?
Jesse.
I love that.
He's my cousin, and he is my role model. So just being here watching him work,
Yeah.
and he makes things look easy.
Well,
Obviously, it's hard for me.
and
wish
it's
it
hard
felt
for him
easy.
too, I'm sure.
And I'm sure it's hard for him,
Yeah.
but from where I'm at to where he's at, it's night and day difference.
Yeah.
So,
You're almost to the weight Jesse started at.
hmm
So
Yeah.
that's a goal right there.
it's
Yeah.
a goal, and
Yeah.
I'll be where I want to be.
Yeah.
hmm
What about you, Jesse?
Honestly, it's just after showing up and then just looking at everyone here, the different age ranges,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, they're all
He's
my role
incredible.
models. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
I see, you know, people that, you know, teenagers up to retirees, and they're all just amazing, you know, and that to me is like, okay, yeah.
You can do
and
this. You can.
I can do this. You know, I
Yeah.
have no excuses, and that was part of my selling point to Josh early on was like,
Absolutely.
it's not, you know, what you think. It's there's diversity in there, and everybody has a common goal,
Yeah.
and everybody's doing it. It doesn't matter at what age. And to me, that was a selling point.
Yeah. So there's a lot of benefits to being consistent, and you two are kind of stand out in that. So, you know, one is obviously you're going to achieve more goals if you're consistent. And
Right.
I know you've talked about some. Have there been any more goals that you've been able to achieve, even like maybe outside the gym? Like this kind of, it goes into your entire existence, even outside the gym. Is there anything in the gym, outside the gym, that you've been able to hit since starting that we haven't already discussed? I know we've talked about some.
For me, outside of the gym, like my work, being able to do things outside, you know, we're out in the field doing things, and I'm visiting crews. In January, there was a time we did a field visit. There was a group of probably 20, 25 of us, and we were walking the hills up and down, and literally walked down to a facility we had to go to. And on my way back, one of my foremans asked me, "Are you okay?" I told him, I'm like, I'm fine, but in my mind, and I knew I wasn't okay.
Yeah.
I could barely make it. So we did the same thing about a month ago, and I did the same exact walk with no
No
problem.
problem. That is so cool. What a cool example.
Leading
It
the
was
way.
awesome.
Yeah.
Like, this is easy.
Yeah,
Come
no.
on, guys, let's go. This is like a warm up for me.
It was totally, I'm like, I'm good. Like, I knew I was good.
And
Yeah.
you recently became a grandfather, right?
Yeah, I'm a nice young 46-year-old grandpa. So,
But do you notice more energy that you have to be with your grandson? It's a boy, right?
it's a boy, yes.
Yeah.
I have a grandson. So another thing too is like one of the things to be here and to better my health and myself is for my kids and my grandchild. You know?
To have more energy.
More.
I have way more
Mhm.
energy.
At this rate, great grandchildren.
Right.
Yeah, right, maybe. Yeah.
I'm not ready to go.
Yeah.
We got a long ways to go, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got 80-year-olds working out 3 days a week right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
That's 40 years from now.
Yeah.
I'd like to be there.
Yeah. Me too, for sure. What about you, Jesse?
You know, it's carried outward. I mean, I've done a half marathon. I've done Spartan races. I've done
And is this
You
something
know,
that you couldn't imagine doing
never.
before?
Never, not in a million years.
Yeah.
You know, deep down, you know, you look at that stuff and, man, you know, because I was semi-athletic when I was younger, but in looking and go, man, that would be fun to do, but no, and I was always like the underachiever, you know, and was like, you know, not the best confidence in the world. But with this, I mean, all that stuff, the extracurricular stuff, I mean, did a Festivus CrossFit competition a few weeks ago.
So cool.
You know, 5Ks. I mean, you know, I never would have done that ever. And now I'm doing it. And it's, you know, and I will keep doing them. I mean, because I'm able to, and it's all because of this. It's awesome.
This is kind of off the cuff, but in being consistent in the gym, how has that rolled over into your nutrition life as far as eating better and being more consistent?
For me, I've really tried to dial in my nutrition mainly because of how it makes me feel. And I stick to an eating regimen, high protein, veggies, and no sugar.
And was this something you started once you did CrossFit?
Yes.
Once you started?
Yes. Once I did it. And because I started on a nutrition challenge.
Okay.
So that kind of laid the foundation of, hey, what I need to be doing. And in that time, there were times where I needed to kind of tweak my diet a little bit, and that's where I would go to Ryan and be like, hey, this is what is happening. What do I need to do? And we'd make some adjustments. Now, where I'm at now is, I don't have breakfast. I realize that I don't need to eat breakfast. I have, I eat around 11 o'clock, high protein, eggs, chicken, same thing with dinner. And I stop eating around 8 or 9, maybe, and then snacks is, some nuts. And
are there things that you ate before that don't even sound good to you anymore? Like you couldn't even imagine because of how you've slowly been eating right?
Tons. Any bread, any of that sugar, granted, do I still have an ice cream here? Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
You still have to live, but now I can moderate it. And also I know it's going to make me feel like. You automatically know, okay, if I eat this is going to make me feel because I'm expecting it. And is it worth it? Yeah, in the moment, but after that, it's like, okay, I'm good for a while, and then you just get right back on track and keep going. And everything, for me anyway, I can only speak for myself, everything is geared towards this, okay, if I eat this today, how's that make me feel in the workout? Probably not very good.
Yeah.
So that's how I gauge it for the most part.
Awesome. What about you, Josh?
So I've cut out fast food, all the trash that I was eating before. When I first started, I did the nutrition thing with Ryan. He went through everything and told me what to and not to eat. So I followed pretty consistently. At first I wasn't losing weight, and then it started coming off, and I just kept being more consistent with the way I was eating, the chickens and the proteins and whatnot, and just trying to kick my bad habits, ice cream, candy, trash, fast food again. So it was really bad for me.
Like the longer you've been going?
I don't even want fast food anymore.
Doesn't sound
I've totally
good.
cut bread out. All sugars are gone out of my diet. I'm very strict on what I'm eating right now, and it feels good. I actually had some bread a couple weeks ago, and I felt like trash afterwards, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. Yeah, it was horrible.
So nutrition is probably the one hardest thing for everybody. What is one thing you would tell someone when they're like, how do you eat so plain? Because that's what they would consider it. And you made a really good comment, after you cleaned everything up and you had bread, it made you feel like absolute dog shit, right? The problem is they don't know that they feel like dog shit until they stop doing those things.
Right.
So what is something you would try and give them to convince them? You're like, hey, try it for 6 months and you're going to notice a big difference.
Yeah, for sure. You'd want to try it to do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I was the worst person when it came to that kind of food and stuff. So it definitely, I try to encourage somebody to try the diet, try to cut out all the sugars and whatnot. It helps. Totally.
Well, and that's the problem is what you said. It's like people don't even know how good they could feel, to where when you're eating the food that we're eating, when it seems boring and plain, because it can be a lot of the same stuff over and over, but you don't even crave the other stuff anymore. It's like sometimes I'd rather not eat dinner because I just don't feel like eating chicken, but nothing else sounds good, And so your body just gets into that habit.
I know early on for me, there was a formula to it, because I remember starting and I was like, okay, I'm going to eat whatever protein and then the vegetables. And I remember going to Ryan and I was like, hey, I'm getting full like really fast. What? And he's like, protein first. Okay. So that's what I do. I eat my protein first, then the vegetable, and it works. So it's those little things. I mean, I really feel like if people are really serious about it, reach out and, hey, this is the issue I'm having. How do I fix it? I mean, he's our answer box.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
I got more answers than you guys have questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't even know. Cool. So some more benefits of being consistent is that you'll be more productive. Have you noticed that inside and outside the gym, like at work or home life or?
Yeah, inside the gym, more productive on any and everything that I'm doing here.
You're doing more. You're lifting more.
I'm doing
you're going
more.
longer.
I'm lifting more, heavier weights, going longer. My recovery is pretty good compared to what it was the first week or two. I was bad. The first month I was bad. I see and I feel myself getting better at everything. There are things that I can do now that I could not do before. Outside of the gym, yeah, everything's helping. Able to do more stuff for work, like I mentioned earlier, and then around the house and stuff. So yeah, it's helping.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just been a progression. I mean, trying new things, trying to lift heavier, more bar work, stuff that I couldn't do before. And then outside, it's just more energy. Obviously doing the extracurricular, activities that we've been engaging in, because that takes effort as well, and there's recovery time from that, and then coming back to the normal run of things. But I'm able to do it. I like to go to concerts and stuff like that, and they get a little rowdy, and I'm fine. Like I am fine. And before it was like, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to, drink a bunch of energy drinks and try to get through it. And I don't need that now. And then the recovery, I mean, it's there.
Yeah.
So.
And you also made a career change.
Yes.
Yes. Did you feel any push from what we were doing here to do that, or have you if it's something lingering in your head and you finally felt the confidence to go out and make a change?
Yes, very much so. I mean, again, at the time when I started, I was on this change kick, and it was to change what I was doing, my routine, everything. Big part of that was my job, my career. I needed something different. And with this comes confidence. And when that happens, you're more apt to want to try new things and
That's really cool.
reach out, and started on this new journey, and I'm about a year and a half into it. The other part of that is it's not as physical as what I was doing before, and so therefore there wasn't much movement, but I'm still getting movement. There's no worries in that department, because I did something like this before and I gained a bunch of weight because, I wasn't moving around very much. I don't have that problem now, so everything's in line.
Yeah, cool. So we'll also develop better habits, which we've touched on numerous times in this podcast. Is there anything else you wanted to hit on with that?
No, I think honestly it's just, you nailed it on the head. Is just habit. Make everything a habit. Eating right, habit. Going to the gym, even when you don't want to go, just go. You're better for it afterwards. I know I am. There's times where I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna go. Okay, cool. I made it through. Got it done. So.
So and then, do you have something, Josh?
Yeah. As for me, I just showing up. I'm here early every day, so it's a habit.
Yeah.
I catch myself. I don't even have to look at the clock, and I know it's time to go. So
Must be nice.
Yeah.
Just gonna drive my way to the gym.
Yeah. I know it's coming up, so it's time to roll.
Right.
Yeah. Very cool. So another one is just in general, you'll be happier. Have you guys, experienced that at all, of making this a habit, making it consistent, coming in and doing this, eating better, working out?
Yeah.
Have you felt happier?
For me, I'm happier. I'm happier to look in the mirror at myself. So, the weight loss has helped.
Yeah.
I'm happier everywhere. At home life here, things are easier here than they were. At home, things are good and easier to do things around the house.
Yeah.
So happy. I'm happy.
Yeah, I really feel that, your mental and your physical wellness go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
So if you're not, if you're not physically feeling good, you're not going to feel good overall. That's just really the bottom line. And I feel like, outside, I'm more, I don't know, more talkative with people, and kind of like you just have that confidence, and you feel, and it's not because of anything. It's just you feel good, and you project that. And then especially like when you see, I'll see people that I haven't seen in a while, and they see me and they're like, oh wow, you look pretty good.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And then we get in the conversation, and then pretty soon I had a conversation with a vendor where we started on that, and I started talking about nutrition and what you should be doing and what works for me. And he, at the end of the conversation, hey, thank you very much for, you didn't have to, we got off track, but thank you for that. I'm going to try some of those things. I'm like, cool, great. I mean, it does carry over.
Definitely. I like how you said the mental and the physical go hand in hand, because that's on point right there. Do you have anything to add, Ryan?
If you could tell your younger self one thing about nutrition, what would it be?
For me,
Josh knows.
Yeah.
He's on it.
yeah, don't do the fast food stuff. Take care of yourself. Your health is important. As a young kid or a young adult, stopping at the fast food restaurants and doing all the candies and the energy drinks and stuff. If I was able to go back, I would not do any of that.
People think I'm crazy when I tell them not to do this stuff.
It's
I'm not the crazy one, guys.
No, for sure. It was us doing that stuff, and at the time it seemed okay, but
It's acceptable. So
Mhm.
society accepts it as a solution.
but it's not.
It's temporary,
Mhm.
not permanent.
Very much.
Jesse, how about you?
I would just, hey, pretty much the same thing what Josh said. Is just, stay away from the junk, and start working out now. Like I would have, and again, I know that seems cliche. Oh, I should have started this. Yeah, I should have, but we're doing it now.
Yeah.
And I think now is when it counts, because I'm sure at that time I just wasn't interested in anything like this. But I definitely would have, stay away from the junk food. I mean, energy drinks were my jam, any and all, and definitely would have stayed away from that and gone on a different route for sure.
Yep. Same with me.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Easy day.
Very much so.
Well, thanks guys for coming in and talking to us. I really do. Like I said, there are a lot of people here at Classified that are very consistent, but as we put this podcast together, your names were just kind of at the top of my list for the achievements that you guys have reached in you just under 3 years, and with you coming in every single day since you've started. It's keep it up. You guys are doing really awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good. 750 in 3 years.
Yeah, that's incredible.
That's an accolade right there.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Josh, you have a chance. This is your opportunity, but can't slack.
I'll be the
I'm-
quickest to 250.
Yeah.
My next goal is 1,000. I want the
Workout
I want the
for you?
workout. I
Yeah.
want the workout. And that's what I'm looking
That's
for.
right.
I'm over 100 now. So.
There we go. There we go. All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.